There's not that much reports on me yet. I mean, I've only had 2 games, but that's when it starts getting a challenge. When I see players multiple times. I've only seen guys 1 time so far. Yeah, it just makes it a challenge. Teams talk to each other, help each other out, just like we get help from other teams. But I just want to keep it on the down low, lay low, and just get guys out.
Chichi trying to keep that scoreless inning streak alive, and of course trying to become the first pitcher in Rangers history to win his first 3 games. We'll see how he does here, guys. Let's get it back up to you.
All right, John, thank you. It'll be interesting to see what happens this afternoon, facing an A's team that has been inconsistent offensively. And Tom now is going to tell you about the Southwest Airlines Texas Rangers starting lineup.
New faces in the lineup today, but Delino DeShields will again lead off in left field. Shin-Soo Choo will play right field. Prince Fielder, again, is the DH batting third. Kyle Blanks, just off the disabled list, will bat fourth and play first base. Adam Rosales gets the start at third base. He'll bat fifth. Elvis Andrus is the shortstop, batting sixth, followed by Leonis Martin in center field. Carlos Corporan will catch this afternoon, and Hanser Alberto will bat ninth and play second base.
And that lineup will face Scott Kazmir, the veteran left-hander, just 2-4 this year, but a very fine 3.14 ERA. Good fastball changeup combination. He's one of those guys that can throw a changeup at any time. He can be a little bit wild. His command deserts him from time to time. Ranger hitters will try and allow him to get wild if he's going to be that way, and he's not pitching with quite as much luck as he was last year when he got off to a 9-2 start for the A's. No, Delino DeShields taking the first pitch of the ball game. It's ball 1. Delino a .269 average. No home runs, 11 RBI. And he goes after the next pitch, and it's a high fly to left center field. Sam Fuld over there into the alley makes the grab. That is out number 1. So we are underway on a beautiful 68-degree Thursday afternoon. We'll take a look at the A's defense. You already saw Sam Fuld, the left fielder, in action. Billy Burns is in center. Josh Reddick in right. Mark Canha at first. Ben Zobrist and Marcus Semien up the middle. Brett Lowry at third. And Josh Fagley gets to start behind the plate here this afternoon. A 1 away, a Shin-Soo Choo at .246 average. Takes high and tight for ball 1. Choo with 8 home runs and 29 driven in. Both those marks second on the Ranger team to Prince Fielder. And a fly ball lofted to straightaway center. Burns retreating near the warning track. 2 gone.
Both those balls were easy outs, but both of them were cases of the hitter just getting underneath him a little bit. Choo gets all of that ball with his power in a day game here. 400 feet is not a problem. And even though Delino hasn't hit a home run, ball carries much better in the daytime here. He just got under his ball as well.
Now 2 fly balls, 2 outs. Here is Prince Fielder. Fielder hitting .349, even though he's in a little bit of a downturn on this road trip offensively. .349, still the best in the American League and second best in all of baseball. D. Gordon still leads both circuits with his .356 average. Pretty good off-speed pitch. It is 0-2. The batting average leaders for you in the American League, about 16 points, separating Fielder and Jason Kipnis. Little looper going out in shallow left. Long run out there for Lowry, a basket catch as he slides to the turf. Nice play by the A's third baseman. Rangers 3 balls in the air, 3 outs in the first. After a half inning of play, Rangers 0. A's coming up. Oakland A's lineup.
Billy Burns leads off in center field. Marcus Semien moves from the bottom of the order to the top of the order. He'll bat second at shortstop. Josh Reddick is the right fielder. Ben Zobrist bats fourth at second. Stephen Vogt DHs today. He bats fifth. Brett Lowry, the third baseman, is next, followed by the first baseman, Mark Canha. Josh Fegley bats eighth and catches, and in left field batting ninth is Sam Fuld.
And the young right-hander, Chichi Gonzalez, on the mound. Our progressive scouting report. Well, basically, just keep doing what you're doing. Chichi has been working out pretty well so far. Command to both sides of the plate, his strong suit, as he misses outside for ball one. Mixing pitches, very much like a seasoned veteran. He just has that innate feel for what pitch to throw in what count, and he's made it work very effectively. Next pitch to Billy Burns, high and outside. 2 balls and no strikes the count. Burns, a .306 average, a couple of home runs. 8 runs driven in. He has established himself right at the top of the Oakland order. That good speed does a lot of things to ignite the Oakland A's offense. And he's ahead of the count now, 3 balls and no strikes. Walks had not been a problem at all for Chichi Gonzalez. He misses with 4 straight pitches, and Burns is aboard with his good speed. Now let's take a look at the Ranger defense, delivered to you this afternoon by Chicken Express. Outfield with DeShields in left, Martin in center, and Chu in right. Kyle Blanks back in the starting lineup. He is at first base. Andrew Alberto and Elvis Andrews up the middle. Adam Rosales to start at third base today, and Carlos Corporán is catching. But 1 on, nobody out. Here's Marcus Semien. There goes Burns. The pitch is a strike. The throw is late. And Burns able to swipe second base.
Well, you have to think after walking on 4 pitches that Burns had studied the move to first base and the move to home plate by Chichi, because I don't think you'd risk being thrown out after 4 straight balls if you weren't pretty sure you could steal second base. And he was pretty sure, and he stole it easily. Had a pretty good plan, it looks like. Good lead, good jump.
Oh, man, in scoring position now. 0-1 the count to Semien. Breaking ball down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Burns, by the way, with his 11th stolen base in 13 attempts. He is the team leader for Oakland. Out there at second. Gonzalez okays the sign. A check of Burns at second. The pickoff, Elvis darting in behind Billy Burns, but Burns not far enough away from the bag. Use that daylight play. If shortstop breaks in there behind the runner and the pitcher sees daylight between the shortstop and the runner, that's the time to spin around and fire it to second. Just inside, 2-1 now. Semien with half a dozen home runs for the season. He has driven in 16. It's out of play. That will even the count. Mentioned the walks. Not been much of a problem for Chichi Gonzalez. He did have 5 in the 5 2/3 against Boston, but he attributed that to a case of nerves. He said he just was overamped a little bit his first time out there, and then just 2 walks in his complete game shutout over Kansas City. Call, strike 3. At that front door cutter, Semien was headed out of the way, and that ball got the inside corner for the punch out.
The other way to look at it, Buzz, is even though he walked 5, they weren't a problem because he didn't give up any runs anyway.
Yep.
Check the Fox tracks right near the inside corner. Semien didn't like it, but Chichi got the call.
1 away now, Josh Reddick. And you have the luxury here in the first inning of having first base open. So a guy that has been a pain, especially in run-producing situations for the Rangers, Josh Reddick, can be a little bit careful with. If you lose him, you lose him.
We talked about Reddick in the pregame show. Reddick he's a good hitter, and he's one of those guys this year who's walked as much as he struck out. A guy that was 6 for 50 against left-handed pitching. Got in that bat against a lefty last night. Drilled a base hit to right field off Sam Freeman. Started a rally.
He's been hot against the Rangers. A .500 hitter over his last 8 ball games. 8-game hitting streak overall. We'll take you back to last night in the bottom of the 9th inning. Infield playing in and hit it fairly hard, but Rosales had to leave his feet to capture it. And that allowed the run to score ahead of Adams' throw. And Reddick gets the RBI, and the A's in a comeback walk-off win. 2-1 pitch coming. The appeal down to third, and no swing down there, says Adrian Johnson. So 3 balls and a strike to Reddick. Reddick hitting third in the order. He'll be followed by the switch-hitting second baseman, Ben Zobrist.
The shutout that Chichi had against Kansas City was the Rangers' first complete game in almost half a season. 84 games. Kobe Lewis had the last one last August. Chichi threw 116 pitches in that game, but never looked like he was laboring at any point in time, including the 9th inning.
Pitch tap foul by Reddick, and the count fills.
And he's pitching Reddick like first base is open, like he respects the type of hitter he's been so far this year. The numbers against right-handed pitching. Throwing him on change-ups, trying to keep the ball away from the good hitter zone. See all the pitches around the strike zone, but nothing up in the zone.
Now the payoff pitch on the way. Ground ball up the middle. Alberto knocks it down. That's the only play he's going to have is to pick it up and check Burns at third. He'll go as an infield single for Josh Reddick. But Alberto, by knocking it down, kept Burns from trying to score. And that puts runners at the corners with one away for Ben Zobrist.
Another nice at bat for Chichi. It ends up being an infield hit, but he pitched Reddick tough. He threw him an off-speed pitch on the 3-2 pitch. Got a little dinky ground ball, but just like last night, Reddick was able to keep it away from the second baseman. That one was to the second baseman's right for a base hit. The one last night just far enough to Rosales' left to where he couldn't make a play at the plate.
And now he's going to have to deal with Ben Zobrist. And Zobrist not quite back to 100% since having a knee surgery. Been back in the lineup for about 14 or 15 days, but not swinging the bat the way he is capable, that's for sure. This might be the best time to catch him. 14 games since coming back off the DL. Zobrist hitting just 174. 1 ball, no strikes. Chichi Gonzalez getting ready to throw his 17th pitch here in the first inning. A walk, a strikeout, and an infield single. Right-hander a check of first. Hits the inside corner knee high. Zobrist 7 out of 12 times in situations like this with a runner at third, less than 2 out. He's been successful in scoring the run. He's got Billy Burns with very good speed over there in this first inning. Base hit to right field. Pitch stayed up, looked like a changeup. And Zobrist pounded it into right, in to score as Burns, the A's lead 1-0. So there goes the scoreless streak for Chichi Gonzalez. It stops at 15 innings at the beginning of his career. Yeah, you got that one out of the way. Now you get back down to business and keep this a 1-0 game.
That's the first pitch Chichi really has gotten up and in the zone. Zobrist got a pitch out over the plate. Most of the pitches Chichi has thrown have been down, sinking, in, out. That one caught the middle of the plate. Zobrist was able to get the good part of the bat on it, pull it into right field.
So a walk and 2 singles, a run across. Runners at first and second for Stephen Vogt. 1 ball, no strikes. Vogt handling DH chores now after catching the first 2 evenings. .293 average with the 11 home runs and 40 driven in. 40 is the high water mark for the A's this year. Another guy that the Rangers have not had a whole lot of luck against this year. Votes 9 for 22. The breaking ball hangs high and outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Chichi trying to settle in here in the first inning. A's have touched him for 1 run. He's trying to keep it right there. 3 balls, no strikes. A little walk down the back slope and give yourself a little talking to. Back up on top, ready to go. Rio pitch to Vogt. Bases are loaded for Brett Lowry. Second walk of the inning, and Mike Maddox going to make a trip out to the mound to talk to his 23-year-old.
Yeah, so far Chichi is just trying to find his rhythm, try to find the command that he's had his first 2 starts, especially his start in Kansas City. But pitching every 5 days in the big leagues for a youngster without the experience, you're going to have little rocky spots, and Chichi trying to see if he can pitch through this one in the first inning. Maybe get a ground ball right here, get out with only 1 run. Last night, Yovani Gallardo struggled in the first inning as well, threw almost 30 pitches in the first inning, but he managed to limit the damage and only give up 1 run, then came back out and was lights out for the next 6 innings. And Chichi would love to get that ground ball, keep it 1 run, turn a double play, and maybe be able to turn it around after the first inning, just like Yovani did last night.
Well, now Chichi Gonzalez is going to work against Brett Lowry, and the Rangers have had good luck against Lowry with a lot of breaking balls. We'll see if, with the bases loaded, Chichi Gonzalez tries the same thing. There's a rocket to Elvis. They're going to turn it over. So 1 pitch, 6-4-3, and that ends the first inning. Mike Maddox, again, with the advice to get the double play. Chichi applied. No, A's get a run. We'll go to the second, 1-0 Oakland. On over 400 devices, real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and a lot more. Blackouts and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Well, damage limited in the first inning thanks to the double play ball off the bat of Brett Lowry. Well, the Rangers come to bat here in the second. It'll be the middle third of the order. Kyle Blanks, Adam Rosales, and Elvis Andrus to face Scott Kazmir.
Well, the A's have had a couple of ground balls that have been well located last night and early in this game, but the Rangers got one that was well located for them. The one Lowry had hit a hanging slider and one hop shot right at the shortstop to turn a double play. Well, that was one that may prove to be the difference right there. That ball's left or right, shoots into the outfield. Who knows what that inning brings for Chichi, but it was hit right at Elvis, hit hard but turned, and now it's 1 run. See if he can come back strong in the 2nd inning.
Blanks now finds himself down in the count at a ball and 2 strikes. Blanks just activated today from the disabled list. Had a procedure to remove a cyst down by his tailbone. Caused him to miss 16 days. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, I don't think anyone felt like a rehab stint was needed. He was right around the team, taking a lot of batting practice. So when he was activated, he went right into the big league lineup.
And that changeup is low. Yeah, and Blanks only missed about 3 days, I think it was, of batting practice with after the procedure. So it's not like he was laid out doing nothing. Able to keep himself going. Does have a 3-game hitting streak going. Go back over time right before he was on the DL. Swings through a fastball here for the strikeout, and there's one away. Scott Kazmier's retired the first 4, and our Kubota Power Stats will deal with the A's left-hander. This season, against the Rangers, 2 starts, a 1-0 record with a 2.08 ERA. Rangers have hit just 156 against him and 16 strikeouts in 13 innings of work. And Kazmier has been much better in this ballpark than he has been on the road. ERA of about half what his road ERA is as he throws a strike to Adam Rosales.
Kazmier won his first 2 starts of the year, including one in the opening series against the Rangers. Hasn't won in his last 9 starts. In fact, he's had 4 straight starts of less than 6 innings pitched. 2 starts ago, he left after the 3rd inning with shoulder discomfort, then took a little bit of extra time. In his last start against the Red Sox, he pitched 4 2/3. Gave up 3 earned runs through 77 pitches. I assume there's a slight concern about his shoulder, having come out of a start a couple of starts ago, and not maybe quite at the same level that he was to start the season physically.
Outside, 3 balls and a strike to Rosales. So Adam trying to get aboard to become the first Ranger base runner. He'll be followed by the Rangers shortstop, Elvis Andrus. Yeah, the other side of that equation, Tom, is the A's have to start thinking, or have been thinking, about what happens if we continue to have problems. High pop foul, that's going to reach the seats. Can't over take a look, but it's 2 rows back. If the A's are not able to get things going by the All-Star break or shortly thereafter, who are the tradable commodities they could try and get, their minor league system built up by? And certainly Kazmier would be one of the guys you would consider as a trade possibility.
Yeah, I would say for sure. If he's healthy and throwing the ball well at that point in time, it would make a lot of sense to make him that kind of a guy.
And Rosales draws the 1-out walk. A lot of talk on the talk radios up here about both Kazmier and Ben Zobrist. They need to get those guys going just in case the A's don't get going for that trade possibility in the middle of the season.
Well, last year was the exact opposite for the A's. They were in a race, and they mortgaged their future. They traded a lot of their young prospects, maybe one of the top 5 prospects in all of baseball, shortstop Addison Russell. They acquired John Lester. They acquired Jeff Smarja, 2 frontline starters, in an attempt to win it all, and it turned south on them. They didn't even get to the postseason. It did not turn well at all for them.
Didn't quite work out the way they were planning.
No, it did not work out. Yoenis Cespedes was also in that trade. He was kind of the power in the middle of their lineup. They were playing great when they traded Cespedes for Lester, and after that, they never played the same again. Oh, wow. I don't know if it hit anybody, but I saw a splash.
Splash down. I think we were across the bay, and that ball going into McCovey's Cove over there.
Boy, better to hit the beer than the person. Not only got her, got everybody else, too.
Watch the explosion. Bam!
The guy in front of her, someone yelled, "Look out." He put his hands over his head. I doubt they even saw that ball.
0-2 to Elvis. Softly hit out towards second. Hayes will try and turn it. Not in time. Elvis able to leg out the return from Semien. Well, Rosales erased on the fielder's choice. Elvis at first with 2 outs. Leonis Martin coming up.
Slowly hit ball. Tough to turn. They came pretty close, though.
So Elvis aboard. Leonis Martin, one of the hotter Ranger hitters of late. He's got a 3-game hitting streak that has seen him hit .500 on 5 for 10 in those 3 games. .251 overall. Kazmir, a long look at Elvis, and time was called.
And a hitter can only stand there and wait for the pitcher for so long. Your arms start to tense up, and you lose that relaxed feeling. And smartest thing you can do is call timeout.
Pitchers will try and intentionally freeze hitters at times like that. Also freeze base runners. And same thing is true for a base runner trying to get a good lead in a jump. You can only get out there and be tensed up for so long before you lose that edge. Oh, 0-1 the count to Martin. Leonis on this road trip now. This is the 6th game for the Rangers. 6 for 17. Little looper out into center field. Caught by Marcus Semien. Quick jump and a fully outstretched glove. Semien hauls it in. Rangers are gone in the second. No runs, no hits. So man left aboard after 1.5. 1-0 Oakland. Your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your Texas Ford dealer now for great deals on America's best-selling brand. Ford is the best in Texas. Chichi Gonzalez back to the hill, and he's working to Mark Canha, who starts the bottom of the second inning by swinging through a breaking ball. Canha hitting 7th. He'll be followed by Josh Phegley and Sam Fuld. A's leading 1-0. Had a couple of hits, a couple of walks in the first inning put together for a run, and only a double play ball thrown up by Chichi Gonzalez. Got him out without any further damage being done. Canha, a .240 hitter. Right center field. Good jump by Leonis Martin. He camps under it to put it away. 1 gone. Next will be Josh Phegley. Well, with the Astros idle today. The winner of this game will pick up a half game on Houston. Rangers come in 2 games back of the front-running Astros. The Athletics, meanwhile, are in 5th place, 10 full games behind Houston.
The Rangers missed a golden opportunity yesterday to move to within
Shields.
1 game.
Good jump to run that down. Yeah, it did. It looked for all the world like about the 7th inning that they were going to close that to within 1 game of the Astros, and it didn't happen.
And the Rangers have been playing so well for over a month now that you're going to have a clunker like that. That was just a game where a lot of things didn't go the way they had been going for the last 6 weeks. There was mistakes on the bases. There were cutoff men that were missed. There were scoring opportunities with less than 2 outs that weren't taken advantage of. It was just one of those games that was very winnable, and 9 times out of 10 over the last 6 weeks, that was an easy win for the Rangers. Just got away from them last night, so put it behind you, come back and try to play a great game today.
Fuld hits a 3-hopper out to Hanser Alberto, who loses his footing and still makes an accurate throw. Well, that's some talent right there. So 3 up, 3 down for Chichi Gonzalez. We'll go to the 3rd, 1-0 Oakland. Treated to a post-game fireworks show presented by Dairy Max, and it'll be set to hip-hop music. Purchase tickets in the upper reserve seating section for just $14. You do that by using the online coupon code FIREWORKS at TexasRangers.com/specials. Carlos Corporan leading things off for the Rangers here in the 3rd inning. 1-0 Oakland. Carlos, the switch hitter up there from the right side against Scott Kazmir. Corporan with a 190 batting average. It's a big curveball of the outside corner. It is 0-2.
Got some Ranger fans in attendance today. Dave and Diane Robertson. They live in Kansas City, but they're big Ranger fans, taking in the game behind the Ranger dugout today.
Zobrist on to first, 1 gone. Yeah, before Hanser Alberto comes up, let's send it back to Dana Larson for a Mazda game break.
Second baseman, number 68, Hanser Alberto.
All right, Dana, thank you. You know, I guess the Mariners, after breaking out of that little slump, decided to turn around and go right back into it. That's shut out here today. Hanser Alberto takes strike 1. Alberto, a 3.08 average. He was out of the lineup last night's ball game. 4 out of 15 on the trip. There's that good changeup from Kazmir, and it's 0-2.
I would think for a hitter facing Kazmir for the first time that there'd be very little chance of you making contact the first time you swing at his changeup.
He comes back with a pretty good fastball, and that's fouled off. Yeah, and you said it a lot of times, Tom, that it looks just like the fastball coming out of his hand. It's about 10 miles an hour slower.
Yep.
Same arm motion and everything.
That's one of the toughest things a hitter has to do when he faces a pitcher, is counteract a guy with a good fastball and a good changeup. Changeup looks just like the fastball. Very frustrating. You're a little bit early on the changeup, then you're a little bit late on the fastball. Get caught in between.
Kazmir winds again, the 0-2 pitch. Got him on the fist, right back up the middle. Semien gets rid of it quickly and throws out Alberto. And that went right through the wickets. Scott Kazmir, but Marcus Semien playing a pretty rangy shortstop out there.
Yeah, Semien has struggled as far as errors go. He's made 20 errors, by far the most errors in the big leagues. But he's got physical tools. He's got a strong arm. He's got some agility. He's athletic. Been working very, very diligently on his defense. And you have to think, with his work ethic, the aptitude that he has, the athletic ability that he has, having played a lot of second base last year, that just a matter of time before he begins to show improvement defensively. We see him make a play like that. Doesn't look like he has any trouble making plays.
Changeup floats into Delino DeShields. That evens the count at 1-1. DeShields started things off this afternoon by skying to left center field. Rangers still looking for their first hit today. They do have a walk. It's the only base runner they've been able to muster against Kazmir. Delino just 3 for 21 on the trip so far. 2-2. Delino last night took a 1 for 4. Still finding ways to get on base without getting the base hits. There's that walk. There's a line drive. Semien had to move back to his left quickly. That ball must have knuckled on him a little bit. Able to corral it, and the Rangers gone in order once again after 2.5. A's 1, Rangers nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. Lead. It'll be the top of the order to face Chichi Gonzalez. Burns slaps one by the dive of Rosales down the left field line. Burns with good speed puts on the brakes as Delino DeShields gets to that ball quickly. But Burns has been aboard both times this afternoon. They had a walk in the first and scored the run. Now he leads off with a single here in the third.
Oh, be interesting to see if Chichi can hold him at first base. In the first inning, he was on the move, had a good jump, stole second base easily. And sure, that's in the back of his mind right now.
One of the things that was suggested that Chichi Gonzalez needed to work on was his ability to hold runners. And you know, that's, unless you've been raised in high school and college as to having that be important to you, it's probably the last thing that pitchers learn coming to the minor leagues.
Yeah, when they're young, if they're a big league pitcher when they're young, they probably didn't give up too many base runners.
Right. Yeah, you have to find a happy medium between a slide step or changing your delivery completely and using a normal delivery with guys on first. Semien the hitter. And he takes ball one. But I have no doubt that Chichi Gonzalez, being the good athlete that he is going to figure out how to get it done most efficiently for himself. Semien called out on strikes his first time. Burns with the third hit of the afternoon against Gonzalez. 2 balls, no strikes. And now Gonzalez has put the A's in a position where they can maybe do something as far as moving the runner or getting Semien to maybe use a hit and run. 2-1. The breaking ball.
It looks like Chichi has shortened up his move toward home plate. Burns not able to get the same jump he got the first time. Cross Semien up on the 2-0 pitch, looking for a fastball.
The thing you have to be careful of when you alter your motion to get quicker to the plate is that you don't take away from your ability to throw your best stuff in the strike zone.
Right.
Two balls and a strike. To right field, Chu coming on in a hurry. He can't get it. Plays on the short hop. The throw into second, not in time to get Burns. Just a little Texas leaguer that fell in off the bat of Semien. And the A's have runners at first and second and nobody out here in the third.
It's tough play for a base runner. You can't get too far off. If the right fielder catches it, he'll double you off first base. At the same time, you go as far as you can. If the right fielder comes up with it quickly, he can force you out at second base. And Burns handled it just right.
Well, that brings up Josh Reddick with 2 on and nobody out. Reddick had an infield single right up the middle his first time up. He's got Burns at second, Semien at first. He's leading 1-0, threatening here in the third. Gonzalez a check of second. Misses low and outside. Reddick now with that infield single, a 9-game hitting streak against the Rangers. He's also now a .300 career hitter against the Rangers with 10 home runs and 35 RBI. Those 35 runs driven in are his most against any team. And the home runs match his most that he has against Toronto also. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-1. We'll take a look at our T-Mobile game changer here this afternoon. Josh Reddick, last 8 ball games against the Rangers. Here's that .500 average we were talking about. 3 home runs, 14 RBI in those 8 games. He's also scored 8 runs, 8 for 12 with runners in scoring position. He's got another opportunity here. Good pitch. Tied up coming in. It's 1-2.
A good slider, cutter. Good movement straight down on the inside part of the plate.
Gonzalez okays the sign. Now he checks the runners. And Reddick pops one into shallow left. Sunglasses glinting in the sun as Delino DeShields puts it away. That is out number 1. And Ben Zobrist will be next.
A good 93-mile-an-hour tailing fastball. Wasn't much Reddick could do with that pitch. Went away from him. Then he threw that hard breaking ball in and sunk the ball away at 93 miles an hour to get that pop up to left field.
Does that pitch that Reddick got tied up on down and in play into the next pitch in a hitter's mind?
Well, I think anytime, to me, the toughest thing for a hitter to counteract is a pitcher who has the ability to go to both sides of the plate, in, out. You know, if you can kind of narrow it down to the guy's trying to pitch me in or he's trying to pitch me away, you know, then you can kind of make an adjustment and handle it. But the pitcher that can pound the ball in on your fist and then also make it tail away to the outside corner, that's very, very difficult to cover both sides of the plate like that.
It sure looks like Chichi Gonzalez, for the most part, has that
That's
ability.
what he's doing, yeah. That's exactly what he's doing. And then Zobrist goes up, treats him to a first pitch changeup that he was way out in front of.
Lines that one into the glove of Blanks. Kyle going up with all his
6'7".
Yeah, 6'7" and the reach, able to employ that for out number 2. You know, in that discussion about the pitches, we'll go back to Josh Reddick's at bat. There's that pitch down and in. And see Reddick trying to be quick inside, and then the pitch away, and really didn't go out with authority after it. He was kind of timid.
Yeah, I think Chichi makes you aware that he can make a good pitch to both sides of the plate. That time he might have gotten away. He did get away with one. He looked like he threw a second changeup, got it up a little bit. Zobrist is a veteran hitter. He was fooled by the first one, but he wasn't fooled by the second one. Fortunately, hit it right at Blanks.
2 outs now. Stephen Vogt, the DH today, walked his first time up there. A fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. Vogt, a .293 average. 11 home runs, 40 runs driven in. Tired of waiting, asks for time and backs out. Gonzalez ready. Vogt lines one up the middle. Right there is Elvis Andrus, able to haul it in, and that will do it. So a nice piece of pitching and defense. Gonzalez and the Rangers get it done. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left after 3. 1-0 Oakland. World Cup title. They battled Sweden at 6 p.m. on your local Fox station. And catch the whole tournament streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Rangers come to bat in the top of the fourth inning, trailing 1-0 to Scott Kazmir, still looking for their first hit against the A's left-hander. Shin-Soo Choo takes strike one. Choo flied out to center back in the first inning. It'll be Choo, Fielder, and Blanks. First three do-ups for the Rangers here in the fourth. 1 ball and 1 strike. Rangers continuing to improve offensively, at least average-wise. 285 now, their team average, over the last 18 ball games. Choo slices it out of play to the left. 1-2. So I think it's kind of gone unnoticed, though. The club is in a streak now, 7 straight games where they scored 4 or fewer runs. And that's for a team that came into play here in third in runs scored in the American League. That's kind of a little troubling, I guess, to have that long a streak.
In last night's game, they missed a lot of opportunities to add to their lead, whether it was men thrown out on the bases or not coming through with a sacrifice fly or a base hit with a man on third base and less than 2 outs. They scored 4, but they could easily have scored 5, 6, or 7.
Yep.
Prince Fielder.
Choo down on strikes, now Prince Fielder. And I'm not going to lay it at Adrian Beltre's feet and say it's all his fault for being hurt, but it has changed remarkably since he left the lineup. And Prince Fielder will be the first one to tell you that he misses Adrian hitting behind him. Fielder skies out for out number 2. Fielder kind of going back to the way things were in April, where he's not seeing a whole lot to hit in run-producing situations without Beltre back there. And that's not a knock on whoever else is hitting behind him, whether it's Blanks or Moreland or anybody else. It's just that Beltre provides unique backup for Prince Fielder in the lineup. Here's Kyle Blanks, who went down swinging the first time that he faced Scott Kazmir. Blanks went on the disabled list on the 22nd of May. Just activated today. And he hits a towering pop fly into left field. Coming on full, still coming. And makes the grab, and the Rangers once again out in order. That is 8 straight now sent down by Scott Kazmir. 3.5 in the books. A's 1, Rangers nothing. Southwest is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by the Mazda 6. J.D. Power has awarded the Mazda 6 highest ranked vehicle appeal among mid-sized cars. Lowry sending one to fairly deep right field, but Chu back there and able to make the grab in front of the warning track for out number 1. So Lowry, who grounded into a very big double play in the first inning, skies out here on the first pitch of the 4th, and it will bring up Mark Canha. Chichi Gonzalez, since giving up the back-to-back singles to start the 3rd inning, has retired 4 straight. Now facing Canha, who lofted a fly ball to center, leading off the 2nd. Strike 1. Canha off to a pretty good start in the month of June. He's 6 for 17 with a home run and 3 driven in. Lines one to right center. Long run over for Leonis, but the ball hanging up, and Martin able to make the grab. 2 gone. A lot of fly balls here this afternoon. Only 2 outs, or 3 outs on the ground for Chichi Gonzalez. 2 of them on the double play, and then Sam Fuld grounded out to end the 2nd. Everything else has been in the air with 1 strikeout. Josh Phegley lined to left field. And takes strike 1. Phegley, a .304 average. A home run, 7 driven in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Phegley, pretty good roll his last 11 ball games. He's hit nearly 400, 389 to be exact. Down in the count here, and a ball and 2 strikes. Here are the numbers about which we spoke. That is on the heels of hitting .219 over the previous 11 games. That was not a real good effort right there on the swing, but a nice play
That was
by
a good
Hector
effort.
Alberto. Where in the world did he come from? I didn't even see him coming in there. So it goes 1-4-3 on the putout, and it's a 1-2-3 inning thanks to some pretty fancy defense. On to the 5th, Oakland by 1.
Nothing. Our AT&T Uverse Rewind rewinds all the way back to 25 years ago this very day in this very venue when Nolan Ryan pitched no-hitter number 6 against the Oakland Athletics. You see the final out of the game here, squeezed nicely by Ruben Sierra over in the massive foul ground in right field. The celebration of Nolan Ryan, our AT&T Uverse Rewind 25 years ago today at this ballpark. And Steve Buechele, who is the Rangers bench coach, was the 3rd baseman in that game. He remembers the day fondly.
Could have talked to him. I mean, as intense as he was while he pitched, I think you could have talked to him. As players, you stayed away at that point, especially me. It's the first one I had ever been around. And he I didn't talk to him. I'm sure no one else did either. But it's kind of a taboo thing to do. But I think with Nolan, you could have talked to him. He knew what was going on. He's been through it before, and I'm sure he was very well aware of where he was in that game.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And I know that when I went up to Boo, I asked him, I said, you remember where you were 25 years ago today? He says, no idea. I said, you were here. Still no idea. I said, Nolan Ryan. He goes, oh, now I remember. And Buzz, I know you broadcast that game. Our director, Dave Burchett, was here. I actually flew out for that game working for local TV news to cover the aftermath. I wasn't here for the game, but got here after the game. So a pretty exciting memory from 25 years ago today, guys.
I was going to be impressed if you said you flew out for that game because you knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, I'm smart that way. Yeah.
I was sitting right behind the Ranger dugout with former Washington Senator catcher Jim French watching that game. Frenchie lived out here.
Were you?
Yeah.
A ball back into the seats off the bat of Adam Rosales.
We often kidded Frenchie. He had the least talent of any major league player who ever got 4 years in the big leagues. He couldn't hit, couldn't run, couldn't throw. His claim to fame was President Nixon came down into the Senators' locker room after a game one time, and he shook his hand with shaving cream. He was naked and had shaving cream in his hand. Shook the president's hand.
Rosales skies out to Josh Reddick in right field. That's out number one. Well, if you're going to have one thing to hang your hat on, might as well have a president.
It wasn't going to be anything that happened on the field.
Yeah, the view from center field is significantly different today than it was back then. That was before they remodeled, moved in. They put in about 6 rows of seats behind home plate. It used to be a fairly large area behind home plate to the backstop, but it has changed. The outfield has changed. Mount Davis out there in center field. There's a line drive base hit by Elvis up the middle. That is the first Ranger hit of the afternoon. And Elvis going down. It looked like he picked on a changeup and smacked that into center for a 1-out single.
The other thing I remember about Jim French is that was nice job of hitting by Elvis. Jackie Brown and I both got called up to the big leagues at the same time. Frenchie let us live in his apartment. He was living somewhere else at the time. And use his second car. And so we used his second car. It was about a 10-year-old station wagon. And we got about 5 parking tickets that we just let him ride. We never paid him, thinking they'd just go away. First thing we saw when we got to spring training the next year was Frenchie. And he had all the parking tickets. And it took us a while to pay him back for that.
It was nice you guys ought to pay him. Fess up to it.
He wasn't. Said, I let you live in my apartment for free. I give you a car, and that's how you repay me, by racking up a couple $100 worth of parking tickets. Well, we didn't really think you were going to find out about it.
Leonis, little pop fly into shallow left, coming on full into foul ground, and the ball kind of fooled him. It died out there, and Full able to use a burst of speed to make the grab for out number 2.
You can tell that the fastball off-speed combination that Kazmir has been tough for the Rangers today. On a lot of fastballs, the Rangers have been late and hit lazy pop-ups to the outfield, tied up, jammed. And that's what that good changeup will do. Make you a little bit late on the fastball. You're aware of the changeup, not quite as aggressive going after the fastball.
So 2 gone. Here is Carlos Corporan. Corporan ground ball to second, his first time up. It's out of play. Well, you remember that 3rd game of the season that Scott Kazmir pitched against the Rangers in this ballpark. 7 innings, just 1 hit for the Rangers. The first hit didn't come until the 8th inning. And that was Delino to Shields with an inch. I'm sorry, there was a hit in the first inning. The second hit came in the 8th inning. That was off of Dan Otero. Swinging strike 2. Jonas Martin had a bunt single in the first inning, and that was the only hit that Casimir gave up in 7 innings.
Yeah, he was throwing really well that day. His fastball was touching the mid 90s occasionally. Today it's 90, 91.
10 strikeouts in that game.
Yeah, he's tough.
0-2 the count to Corcoran. Elvis at first. 2 outs in the 5th inning.
Watching him throw today, looks like whatever little shoulder problem he had 2 starts ago that caused him to leave after the 3rd inning in a ball game doesn't seem to be bothering him today at all. A very good pitch count. Only thrown 57 pitches here in the 5th inning.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's laboring at all as far as the mechanics are concerned. Now the 1-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I think you find almost all major league pitchers go through a 1 or 2 or even 3 spells during the season where they'll get sore elbow or sore shoulder, and usually a little stretching, a little rest, maybe an extra day here or there will tend to take care of it. Sometimes teams are kind of hyper vigilant about that kind of thing, and it can, sometimes it's not necessary. Sometimes it is. Elvis retreating to first after the foul ball. 2-2 the count to Corcoran. 2 outs. 5th inning, Rangers trailing 1-0 to Scott Casimir and the A's. Rangers finish up here this afternoon, head back home, and in a 3-game weekend series with the Twins tomorrow night. Corcoran settling back in the box now, and he's ready to go. So is Casimir. The changeup, and that didn't miss by much.
He's eyeballing it all the way.
The 3 balls and 2 strikes. Casimir thought he might get the call. That home plate umpire Bill Miller said, nope, we're not going to do that. The 3-2, 2 outs. Elvis on the move. The pitch swung on and missed. Casimir gets his 3rd strikeout. Rangers get their first hit, but strand a runner. Halfway through the ball game, the A's won, the Rangers nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. Wins at Globe Life Park. The first 7,500 kids, 13 and under, will get to take home a cereal bowl. That's sponsored by Dairy Max. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com and bring your kids home happy. 1-0 A's as Sam Full leads off the bottom of the 5th inning. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Full to ground ball to second. His only trip to the plate today. A's a run on 4 hits. By the dive of Elvis into center field, and Full has a leadoff single. Oh, the 5th Oakland hit.
Full had a base hit in the winning rally in last night's game. Going into the game last night, it was something like 7 for 77. Really struggling. Right, he got a pitch out over the plate. Hit that ball hard back through the middle.
Yeah, he was 7 for 79.
Wow.
After that base hit at 8 for 80. So it coming out of nowhere. Billy Burns showing bunt, takes a strike. The A's, by the way, with that leadoff single now, have had their leadoff man aboard 3 of the 5 innings here today. So it's it hasn't been easy for Chichi Gonzalez. Slaps one through the hole into left field, a base hit. Full will stop at second. Boy, the more you see Billy Burns, the more you realize that he's really a slashing type of hitter. Not a lot of power, but he can maneuver the ball all over the place and use that speed of his.
Yep, you can see why he's playing so well as a leadoff hitter. That's exactly what he's doing. Slapping the ball around. Give him a pitch he can pull, he can do that. But for the most part, if it's out over the plate, that's what he's trying to do. Chop one toward the left side of the infield and beat it out.
Oh, just as in the 3rd inning, the A's had their first 2 runners aboard on base hits. Nobody out. Marcus Semien at the plate, and the Rangers trying to set up the defense for the expected bunt. Semien 1 for 2. And he will face a defense that has Adam Rosales at third up. About 2 or 3 feet in front of the cut of the grass. Kyle Blanks coming down the line from first. No bunt here. And a line drive to right. Chu going over, makes the catch. Tagging at second is Full. He will advance 90 feet. And the A's now with 1 out have runners at the corners for Josh Reddick. And before we see this matchup, let's send it back to Dana Larson, a Mazda game break.
Now batting, right fielder, number 22, Josh Reddick.
All right, Dana, thank you. Now, here's Solarte. Found a home out there in San Diego and won a ball game for him. Yep. Former Ranger. Well, the A's here in the 5th have Full at third base, Burns at first, 1 out. Josh Reddick, who has an infield single and a fly ball to left, is the hitter. Reddick, a .310 average. Second on the A's team with those 33 RBI. Gonzalez a long look at first. He misses inside for ball 1. Chichi Gonzalez with 56 pitches under his belt. Not an inordinate amount by any means, but high leverage action here. One of those games for Chichi Gonzalez where it's either been a relatively easy inning or he has been under stress. Nothing in between. A's scoring a run in the first inning, had 2 hits and 2 walks. Only a double play from Brett Lowry ended that. Then it was a 1-2-3 second. In the third, A's had back-to-back base hits to open up the inning. Gonzalez able to wiggle out of that. 1-2-3 fourth, and now the 5th. It's 2 aboard and 1 out. 2 balls, no strikes to Reddick. Burns with good speed at first, and be interesting to see if he is turned loose with the left-handed hitting Reddick up there.
Yeah, right now Reddick's got the hole to shoot for, and if he steals second, pretty good chance they would walk Reddick. Although Zobrist is swinging the bat really well right now. He's struggling since coming off the disabled list, but looks good right now. Hit the ball hard twice today.
Gonzalez missing low. It's 3 balls and no strikes. And no sure thing here that Josh Reddick will have the take sign on 3-0. Zobrist waiting in that on-deck circle. He's swinging. And a fly ball shallow left. Long run over. Delino DeShields makes the catch. Here comes Fulb. The throw is right there, and they got it.
That throw would have landed on top of home plate.
What a throw from Delino DeShields to double off Sam Fulb at the plate and end the Oakland threat. Wow. So no runs, 2 hits, 1 left. We'll go to the 6th inning. The Delino DeShields show is happening in Oakland. 1-0 A's. Brought to you by Sonic. Today's jackpot is worth $200 and dinner for 2 at Sonic Drive-In. If a Ranger hits a home run this inning, Edwin Houston of Farmers Branch will win $200. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam during the inning, Edwin will win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Well, let's see if there's a little momentum generated by that great throw from Delino DeShields to end the 5th inning. Andrew Alberto trying to bunt his way aboard to start the 6th, fouls it off. Alberto, a ground ball to short, his first time to the plate. Scott Kazmir has allowed just 1 hit through the first 5 frames. He has 3 strikeouts. And ahead of the count now to Alberto, no balls and 2 strikes. Kazmir back to him. They're expanding that strike zone a little bit with 2 strikes, staying alive. Alberto made his major league debut back on the 29th of May against Boston. He had a triple, if you remember, in that major league debut of his. He was hitting better than 300 with the Express. Round Rock, 303 to be exact. 1-2 pitch. Leaned on that changeup. 2-2. The appeal bound to Doug Eddings at first. No swing. Foul bat and a strikeout. 4th strikeout or Scott Kazmir.
The last two Ranger hitters have been significantly fooled. Corporan and Alberto way out in front of those off speeds.
Well, Delino DeShields coming up, and here's how the bottom of the fifth ended. DeShields in foul ground makes a throw that you couldn't have walked any better and laid it in the glove of Carlos Corporan.
It didn't quite have the velocity of a Leonis Martin throw, but it had perfect accuracy.
Yep,
I don't think if he didn't catch it, it would have landed right on top of home plate. And I guess when you come right down to it, velocity is great, but the accuracy is more important. You can't throw anybody out if it's not accurate. That's what makes Martin so strong throwing, is he's got the great arm strength and generally pretty good accuracy to go along with it.
0-2 to DeShields. Delino is flied to left and lined to short. Still no balls and 2 strikes. DeShields, the American League Rookie of the Month for the month of May. He had almost 300 for May. Staying alive here with a foul ball. 296 that month, 15 walks and 9 RBI. The first Ranger to win that award since Martin Perez won in August of 2013. A ball and 2 strikes to Delino. Kazmir back to him. Get into left center field. Long run over for Burns. He dives and comes up with it.
What a catch.
What a catch by Billy Burns. Going completely horizontal to take extra bases away from DeShields.
The ball hung up there. It looked like one of them was going to catch it, and then right at the end you said that ball's going to fall. Then out of nowhere came Burns diving and caught it right off the ground. If he doesn't catch that ball, it's another triple for Delino. Got time to get to it. Look at that dive. That's the all-out dive, and catching it, needing every inch of that dive right before it hit the ground. What a play. Sometimes you see a guy dive and catch it about 3 feet off the ground, and you say, oh, he didn't really have to dive for that. He dove. He was flying through the air before he ever caught that ball.
Sure was. So an outstanding defensive play. Takes extra bases away from DeShields. Now Chu lines one to left. That is playable for Sam Full. And just like that, the Rangers are gone in order thanks to the great defense by Billy Burns. Bottom of the 6th coming up. It remains the A's 1, the Rangers nothing. June 23rd, the first 15,000 fans will receive a Prince Fielder bobblehead, courtesy of Dr. Pepper and Brookshire's. Don't miss the first bobblehead giveaway of the season. Head to TexasRangers.com/tickets or call 972-RANGERS. Ben Zobrist starting off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Still 1-0 Oakland. Gonzalez missing a little bit low. It is 2 balls and a strike. Zobrist, an RBI single in the first. That has been the only run of the ball game for either team. Good job by Gonzalez to get that pitch in on Zobrist. And Kyle Blanks takes care of the fisted ground ball, 1 gone.
Chichi has definitely pitched out of some jams in the first inning. It was bases loaded, 1 out. He got a double play. 3rd inning, his first 2 hitters got on. He pitched out of that jam. 5th inning, 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Delino caught a ball, threw a runner out at the plate. So 3 times every other inning, he's had to pitch out of a major jam.
So I guess if you keep that going, then this should be a pretty easy 1-2-3 inning.
Should be 1-2-3. He had 6 of them in his shutout against Kansas City. 6 1-2-3 innings.
Steven Vogt at the plate, 0 for 1 with a line drive to short and a walk.
Yeah, the pitches in between the 2nd and the 4th. He had 6 pitches in one and 7 pitches in the other. The most pitches he's had in an inning is 13 after the 1st inning.
A ball and 2 strikes. Well, neither team today is sitting around waiting for ball 3 or ball 4. It's happened a couple times, but not because guys are working the counts. They're up there swinging against both Chichi Gonzalez and Scott Kazmir. Both going after a high fastball with no success, and that is strikeout number 2 on the afternoon. 2 away for Brett Lowry.
We're talking about Giovanni weathering the storm in the 1st inning yesterday. Chichi's doing a very similar thing in this ball game. Seems to be getting stronger now. So far having a nice quick 6th inning.
Lowry found that first pitch back. Lowry, the double play in the 1st inning that really put a capper on what could have been a difficult inning. Hit the ball very sharply, but right at Elvis Andrus to turn it into a double play. Couldn't get that pitch working its way down and in. It's 0-2. And there are the numbers that Tom was telling you about. 2nd inning and 4th inning, 13 total pitches. And a fastball up and in gets Lowry. Well, Gonzalez trying to come inside on an 0-2 pitch, and he got it a little too far in. Got Lowry somewhere on the left arm. Maybe the hand. He's hopping around there. Hard to tell. He's not grabbing anything, so I can't tell you where it hit him.
Must have got him in the ribs. No, must have got him in the arm. Thought he was rubbing his ribs.
Got him everywhere.
Might have twisted his ribs trying to get out of the way.
Could have. You know, Bob Delvin and the A's trainer out there to check on their 3rd baseman. Make sure he's all right. He's going to be able to stay in the ball game.
So a lot of times the player will stay in the game because all he has to do is run. No matter how bad your arm hurts, you can still run. And then you wait and see what happens. It's hard to tell exactly what's going to happen right now. Does the pain go away? Does it swell? Does it stiffen up on you? You'll know a little bit more when he has to go back out there for defense.
That's his right wrist or right forearm or wherever it hit on the right side, and throwing it might be an issue. A 1 on 2 outs. Mark Cannon pops the first pitch into foul territory. Oh, to take a look. Into the first row, and a nice play by a Ranger fan with a Beltre jersey on. That figures. Going to catch some. That ball had to go in his glove. Right there.
Yes,
nice
sir.
play.
That's why you bring your gloves.
The 0-1 to Canna. Mark Canna today has twice flied to center field. Gonzalez working on Lowry at first. Let's go down to John Radigan quickly. John?
Real near where the kid, the Texas fan, caught that foul ball, and Corpy was over here trying to see if he could catch it. He's messing with the little guy, and he's like, here, throw it to me. And the kid almost did. It was great, but he's got his souvenir, guys.
Well, I hope Corpy would have thrown it back. I'm sure he would if he threw it down to him. He's alert. He's waiting for another one.
Yes,
boy.
he is. He's going to charge the next one. He's going to wait for that last one. 0-2 to Canna after a couple of foul balls. Canna with 7 home runs, 23 RBI. E.J. Gonzalez a check of first. He didn't miss by much. Trying to cut off that outside corner with a slider. 1-2. Gonzalez now at 74 pitches with this next offering. Chopped wide of third. He gets by Rosales out into left field. And the A's have runners at first and second with 2 outs. And Josh Phegley coming up. Well, even with Rosales playing deep, he couldn't flag this one down.
It's one of those balls that you could just see it was destined to take a tough hop. Sometimes those balls hit the dirt and almost like they pick up speed.
Now Mike Maddox out to have a little get-together on the mound. E.J. Gonzalez and Carlos Corporan talking things over.
He had Lowry with 2 outs and nobody on, no balls and 2 strikes, and tried to come in with a pitch and hit him. And Canna, no balls and 2 strikes. Canna was able to get the bat on a pretty good sinker. Hit the ball on the ground, but he found a hole.
Yeah, and this is one of those situations where, with a young pitcher especially, you can't afford to let that the thought of hitting the guy 0-2, even if you're disgusted about it, linger. You're going to make bad pitches if you do that. You've got to get that out of your mind and move on to the next hitter. And that's what Mike Maddox does so well, going out there to the mound to get both pitcher and catcher to focus on what you're going to do to the very next hitter. The first pitch is outside to Phegley for ball 1. Phegley is lined to left and tapped out to second. Has Lowry at second, Canna at first. A's now with 7 hits this afternoon. Carlos giving the infielders the defensive setup in case there's a double steal attempt. Inside, 2 balls and no strikes.
Tried to go outside with a cutter and missed, and then came inside with a sinker and just barely missed. Got that one in there.
Got it in right on the fists, and Rosales takes care of the roller. You get the fielder's choice to end the inning. No runs a hit, 2 men are left. We're going to the 7th inning in Oakland. The A's 1, the Rangers nothing. story offensively kind of abbreviated. The only run of the game driven in by Ben Zobrist in that first inning. Billy Burns comes in to score, and 1-0 A's lead. Defensively, Delino DeShields making the play of the afternoon for the Rangers. Taking that ball in foul territory and shooting out Sam Fuld at the plate. He completed a double play and get the Rangers out of a tough spot in that fifth inning.
And Delino was involved in both plays of the day. He hit the ball that Billy Burns caught in center field. A spectacular diving play. That would have been a triple if he didn't catch it. Rangers could easily have scored.
Prince Fielder leading off in the seventh inning, takes high for ball one. Fielder has popped out to third and skied to left field. 0 for 2 today, hitting at .346. Kazmir's next offering is off speed and 2-0. Our forward leaderboard showing you batting average in day games. Prince Fielder topping everybody in baseball at .438.
Rangers have not had a leadoff man on yet. Good time for it right here in the seventh inning.
Kazmir's only had 2 innings. The Rangers have had people on base, period. A walk in the second inning and a 1-out Elvis Andrus single in the fifth inning. Other than that, not much going on offensively. And outside, ball 4. Fielder draws the leadoff walk. Let's see if you'd mentioned that, Tom, that they hadn't had a leadoff man a few innings ago. We might have gotten something going.
Start working on that. Reverse psychology.
Yeah.
Now batting, number 88.
Well, Prince aboard to start things, and Kyle Blanks now will come up. Blanks, a strikeout and a fly ball to left today. Just back in the lineup, just off the disabled list. Looking to reclaim that middle of the order spot. How's that first pitch off to the right? It is 0-1. Kyle had a great month of May, at least until he had to go on the disabled list. He was hitting .339. That was 8th best in the American League. If you looked at hitters with 50-plus plate appearances. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kazmir, a check of Prince Fielder at first. Very modest lead for the big guy. 2-1. The 3 home runs that Blanks had all came within a 5-game span. Homered in 2 straight against these Oakland A's, the first and second of the month of May. And that's low, 3-1.
I mentioned that Kazmir in his last 4 starts hasn't gone 6 innings. 4 2/3 in his last start before that only 3 innings, and left that game with shoulder discomfort. Even though he's in the 7th inning, still only thrown 84 pitches.
Blanks had one to work with there and fouled it straight back. Well, the count is full, and Blanks trying to get aboard to join Prince Fielder. You get a look at that last pitch. When Kyle's a good low ball hitter, and that was right down in his wheelhouse. 1 on, nobody out. In the top of the 7th inning. Payoff pitch. And we'll try it again. Blanks hitting 4th to be followed by the Ranger 3rd baseman, Adam Rosales, today. Josh Fagley taking the brunt of that foul ball. That thing pretty much in the middle of the plate also. Kazmir again with the 3-2. Kyle able to just get enough on that ball to pull it foul. A good changeup from Kazmir. You mentioned Kazmir, not afraid to throw that changeup in any count. He has supreme confidence in it, and rightfully so. It's a lot of outs with that thing. broken bat into foul territory, both the bat and the ball. And they both drop untouched.
I didn't even see where the end of the bat went. It looked like it went all the way to the end of the A's bullpen.
The dugout.
Dugout, I mean.
Yep.
Wow. Ninth pitch coming up to Kyle. You see how dangerous that is. When those things break in half, they don't break smoothly. It's a jagged edge. You can't tell which way it's going to hit either. They're spinning so fast.
Oh, another 3-2 pitch in the offing. Blank's ready with a new piece of lumber. Swinging.
Might have been ball 4.
Elevated the fastball a little bit. And the 5th strikeout in the books for Scott Kazmir. 1 away for Rosales. Let's go down to John Radigan. John?
Yeah, Buzz, with Prince Fielder on first, I've noticed differences in his offensive approach lately. The walk today. He had the bloop single to score a run the other night. The sac fly last night. I asked him, is this a different Prince Fielder at the plate?
The level of pitching is getting better. So, I mean, you got to take, you got to take the ego out of it. These guys aren't, they're just going to let you go up there and swing away for homers and, just try to crush balls. You got to be smart and play, you got to play baseball. If they give you something, you can just get the wood on, try to get a base hit. You got to take that.
Pretty interesting to hear him say that. And I know you guys were talking about it just the other night, how good the pitching appears to be. Prince acknowledging that and saying, look, I got to sort of take what the pitcher's going to give me.
Yeah, that's a good point. John, I think it's important that he and all good hitters recognize that. Yeah. You can't try and manufacture something that's not there.
We were talking about that the other day. The quality of pitching and the fact that strikeouts have gone up almost every year for the last 10 years. And the observation you would make watching it is the pitching is better.
Yeah.
The velocity is up. More pitchers are throwing splitters and cut fastballs, which add to their repertoire. Video scouting that you have benefits the pitcher when he learns how to pitch to the hitters.
Double play ground ball to Semien, to Zobrist, and on to first base. Now the Rangers had a promising start, a leadoff walk. A strikeout and a double play later, they are gone. Stretch time in Oakland with the A's leading the Rangers 1-0. League appearance June 15th and 16th at Globe Life Park. First 25,000 fans for the game on the 16th. We'll get an MLB Network tote bag. Just visit TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS to get your tickets. Now Sam Full leading off the A's 7th inning. Full 1 out of 2. Chichi Gonzalez fires in strike 1. That was Chichi's 79th pitch of the afternoon. 1 ball and 1 strike. A's this afternoon, 1 run on 7 hits. Rangers, no runs on just 1 hit against Scott Kazmir. Sam Freeman out in the bullpen. Nick Gould with his 2nd hit of the afternoon, a leadoff single in the 7th. Well, before we go back to the top of the A's order, let's send it back to Dana Larson for a Mazda game break.
Center fielder, number 1, Billy Burns.
All right, Dana, thank you. 1 on, nobody out. Billy Burns, a perfect afternoon. 2 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. The first pitch to him is in at the knees for strike 1.
When the Rangers came into this series, Fuld and Zobrist, just to name 2 A's, were really cold. Fuld looks like he's swinging the bat pretty well right now. 2 line drives his last 2 times up, and Zobrist has hit the ball hard twice today. Looks like he's starting to come around after being on the disabled list.
Yeah, you put Vogt in that category too. He was like 1 for 20 at the start of this thing.
Yeah.
So, the middle of the order, with the exception of Reddick, wasn't doing a whole lot.
Well, they'd only scored 9 runs in the 4 losses prior to this series. And it's not like they're killing the ball today. They only have 1 run, but they are swinging the bats. A couple of the guys that have been cold anyway, better than they had been.
Billy Burns, the switch hitting speedy center fielder for Oakland. No balls and 2 strikes. Gonzalez taking a long time to read the signs from Carlos Corporán. 14,489 on hand for this matinee affair in Oakland. Tried the back door and just left it outside a bit. 1 and 2. Gonzalez, a check of Fuld at first. Slap to the third baseman. It's a foul ball.
Wow.
Foul ball right back behind the bag. Third base umpire Adrian Johnson immediately throwing his hands up. That was going to be a problem if it had been fair.
Oh, he's right on top of that. No one in the stadium has a better view of it than he does. It wasn't foul by much, but it was foul.
Everybody back to their original positions. The count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ranger outfield swung well around to the left and very shallow in left field as Delino to Shields. High and away, and it's 2 and 2. A good look at the outfield. Pretty good gap in right center between Chu and Leonis Martin. Gonzalez with the 2-2 pitch.
Man, how did he foul that ball?
I don't have any idea.
That ball looked like he hit it on a bounce.
I don't know.
It would have bounced. It would have bounced to the catcher.
Yeah.
A's picked him up for Jerry Blevins a couple years ago. A pretty good pickup right now, leading off and playing center field for him and doing a pretty nice job in that leadoff role.
I would have to say that they probably don't
left-hand pitcher.
miss Coco Crisp in this guy's offense right now. But Crisp is a good player, but looks like Billy Burns can very adequately fill in center field and the leadoff spot.
There's all the things Crisp is doing. The one thing Crisp had that he doesn't have is a little bit of power in the leadoff spot. The pitches he's swinging at, he made the bat hit the ball. One almost bounced that ball, almost hit him, and he fouled it off. Ninth pitch coming up.
Still 2-2. Chichi Gonzalez trying to find a way to work around Billy Burns. Just missed the inside corner. Oh, a full count now, and we'll see if Sam Fuld will take off with the next offering. Billy Burns, the leadoff man in the order for Oakland, will be followed by Marcus Semien. A's leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Fuld on the move. The pitch is skied to center field. Fuld picked it up so he can get back to first before Leonis Martin captures that. One gone.
The one thing Burns is not going to do is walk very often. He must have swung at 5 pitches out of the strike, way out of the strike zone in that at bat.
Now batting shortstop, number 10, Marcus Semien.
Well, Burns back to the dugout. Fuld still at first. Marcus Semien is 1 for 3 today, and he will step to the plate hitting at .277. And they've called a balk on Chichi Gonzalez, who's saying he thought that he stepped off the rubber first. But both first base umpire Doug Eddings and Jim Wolf, the second base umpire, he's on the rubber there. And he's not in a set position. Yeah.
Do you have to step in back of the rubber?
If you're going to fake a throw, yes.
Yeah, his foot was in front of the rubber, it looked like, wasn't it?
His foot was on the rubber.
Right on the rubber?
In front of it where you normally are. And the umpires get together and they saw that. You can't fake a throw to first base. You can to the other bases.
I think Chichi thinks he was in back of the rubber. He was pointing to the back of the rubber, but replay didn't seem to show that.
No, and he might have thought he stepped off first.
Definitely.
He didn't.
Not in back of the rubber.
No. So the balk puts Fuld at second base with 1 out. Semien up there now. Couldn't check his swing on that breaking ball. It's 0-1.
This will probably be his last hitter right here. He's at 92 pitches.
And strike 2. Semien, half a dozen home runs. He has driven in 16. He's got Sam Fuld out there at second. 0-2 pitch coming from Gonzalez.
Good pitch.
Carlos Corporán flashing the signs out as Fuld gets his lead from second. Didn't really want to do it, but Chichi Gonzalez gets his 3rd strikeout of the afternoon. Semien gone. And with 2 outs, Josh Reddick coming up.
That's a combination of pitches that we've been talking about. Slider away, and then comes in with a sinking fastball with a lot of movement on it. Look at the move. That looked like a left-handed slider.
Yeah.
How much movement it had.
Now with 2 outs, Mike Maddox is going to go out and take a game plan out there, or develop a game plan when he gets out there to deal with Reddick. See what they want to do with first base open. Problem you have now, Reddick obviously has hit the Rangers well. He's got a 9-game hitting streak against Texas. And even though you have first base open, you got Ben Zobrist waiting to come up after Reddick, and Zobrist swinging the bat well today.
Well, you know, the easy move would be with Reddick, left-hand hitter, is bring in the lefty, but I kind of like the idea of leaving the kid in there and see if he can work his way out of his own jam. He's a guy that you think is going to be in the rotation for a long time. Now you got to go get the best hitter on the other team, keep it a 1-0 game. Probably the last hitter he'll face if he gets out of this inning. Good challenge for the kid right here. Great
First
pitch,
pitch
too.
right on the outside corner at the knees. Reddick this afternoon, an infield single, a fly ball to left, and then he hit a foul fly to left that Delano DeShields turned into a double play back in the 5th inning. Fuld at second, And the pitch off the glove of Corcoran, but not far enough for Fool to try to advance. For a runner at second, that ball kind of skittering away from Carlos Corcoran, probably at an angle that Fool couldn't really tell how far away it had gone. He didn't want to take any chances with Reddick at the plate. A ball and a strike. Gonzalez reading the signs. Now he is set to work. Just off the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike. J. Gonzalez is approaching the 100 pitch mark. He's been extremely effective here again this afternoon, as he has been at the other 2 outings he's had at the big league level. 3-1.
He's got first base open and he's pitching accordingly, trying to make excellent pitches. And this ball has a lot of movement on it right now. That last fastball tailed away significantly.
Gonzalez, a high set, and misses outside, ball 4. Well, that's a pretty good case of going after a hitter, but not giving him anything he can hurt you with.
That wasn't an intentional walk, but it was intentionally not giving him anything good to hit, that's for sure.
Ben Zobrist.
Oh, 2 gone now, runners at first and second. Ben Zobrist will come to the plate. And Elvis having a little chat with Chichi Gonzalez out there.
The first 2 times up, Zobrist hit the ball hard. He had an RBI single and then a line shot to first base with a couple of men on. Last time up, Chichi got the cutter in on his fist and was a little tapper toward first base.
And I would imagine that cutter in on the fist sticks in Zobrist's mind too.
Definitely.
So all the runners Fold at second, Reddick at first. 2 outs in the 7th. He's going to remind him of it again, just in case he'd forgot. 0-1.
I like the fact that his stuff is better now than it was in the first inning. It was a 93-mile-an-hour pitch with a little cutting action on it. You can tell how 25th pitch of the inning coming up, how competitive he is trying to get out of this inning. There's another one right exactly where he was trying to throw it. He walked Reddick, but he threw the ball where he was trying to throw it.
Zobrist is lucky he didn't make contact on that. That wouldn't have gotten to first base.
Yeah, he's lucky he didn't swing at it. Chichi's made 2 great pitches on him here, trying to pitch out of another jam.
0-2 to Zobrist. Old Floridian Chichi Gonzalez trying to wiggle out of the jam here in the 7th inning. 0-2 pitch.
He got it in there and didn't break his bat, but it didn't sound real good. That wasn't the noise that you don't like. That was that's borderline noise you do like right there.
That kind of soft thud.
Click.
Yeah.
Well, this is what has made him so successful in his first 3 starts. Get into a jam and the ability to rise to the occasion and make a good pitch. See if he can keep him coming. He's thrown 3 pitches right in the exact same spot to Zobrist. Same pitch he made when he hit the little ground ball this last time up.
Let's see what he comes up with now for the second 0-2 pitch. Target set outside by Corcoran.
A little cue shot in a way. Zobrist did well just to touch that ball after 3 pitches in. But all 4 pitches were pretty much exactly what he was trying to throw and where he was trying to throw it. Ball's not a strike. It's tailing away. And Zobrist swung at it, which you want him to do, just barely ticked it.
Yeah, you would have liked for that pitch to be put in play.
It would have been a little tapper toward third base, probably.
Yeah. Yet another 0-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Went up the ladder that time, and Zobrist couldn't get off at the right rung. He is gone. 4 strikeouts for Chichi Gonzalez. On to the 8th we go. 1-0 Oakland. back home tomorrow night. Begins a 3-game series with the Minnesota Twins over the weekend. Dodgers come in Monday and Tuesday, and then the Rangers hit the road and go to Los Angeles, play the Dodgers for 2 games, then on to the White Sox for next weekend series, be followed by a 3-game series at home against these Oakland A's. Chichi Gonzalez doing a great job of pitching out of any difficulty he's found himself in the last several innings. We're going to see if the Rangers can't get him a couple of runs here in the 8th inning. Elvis Andrus to start things off, be followed by Leonis Martin and Carlos Corporan. Andy Perino now is in at shortstop in the place of Marcus Semien. Elvis with the only hit of the game against Scott Kazmir. That was a 1-out single in the 5th inning. So Kazmir now in back-to-back outings in this ballpark against the Rangers has given up a total of 2 hits in 14 innings. Elvis at .236 with the average as he faces Kazmir. That big breaking curveball hits the outside corner.
Didn't look like it got to the corner, but he got the call.
Close.
Just about did get there.
0-2. Okay, we're still a little bit left in the tank out there too.
Yeah, velocity-wise, that was his best fastball.
Rangers have not been shut out since that game here that Kazmir started against them. Longest streak in baseball for not being shut out. 56 consecutive ball games. One and 2 to Andrus. Willie Burns, center fielder, started back, now has to come on. 1 gone.
Defensive change for the Athletics, now playing shortstop, the 12.
Folks, join the Rangers at Globe Live Park for a rare weekday matinee on Thursday, June 25th. Get to the ballpark early and enjoy a special wildlife education presentation from the Dallas Zoo. Visit TexasRangers.com for tickets, or you can call 972 Rangers extension 3 for special pricing on groups of 20 or more. Leonis Martin is lined to short and fouled out to left field. This one popped foul. Long run over for Lowry. He's not going to get there. It's on the roof of the A's dugout. 0-2 the count to Leonis Martin. Martin came into this ball game hitting well against Kazmir. He had gone 5 for 16. That's a .313 average. Had that base hit taken away by then shortstop Marcus Semien back in the 2nd. Kazmir to the wind, the 0-2 pitch. And the left-hander back to the plate once again. Got him swinging.
Best velocity of the day in the 8th inning. Kazmir 93-94 with his fastball.
That's his 6th strikeout of the day.
Kind of cruising through the middle innings, and now sensing the end,
Now batting,
airing it out a little bit.
Carlos Corporan.
Just love the way that Chichi finished too.
Yeah.
How competitive he was. He knew what was at stake, knew the hitter, knew what the game plan was, and executed it perfectly.
Carlos Corporan, a ground out and a strikeout, takes ball 1. Oakland at 185 with the average after the 0 for 2. Reaches for it, and tops it foul. A ball and a strike. Carlos had hits in 3 of his last 4 games coming in. Seen his batting average raise some 18 points. Fighting to get on base here with 2 outs in the 8th inning. Hits this one well to center field. Burns is going back at the track, at the wall, leaps up and hauls it in. Billy Burns, another tremendous play defensively in center field, taking at least extra bases away from Carlos Corporan. My, oh my. Watch Billy Burns backing into the wall and leaping at the same time, and Rangers are gone in the 8th. 1-0 Oakland, bottom of the 8th coming up.
Oakland, even nice to see Rangers fans of the future already buying in to Rangers baseball here in sunny Oakland, California. We welcome you back. Rangers, of course, still need a run or two to get this one into the win column, and we will do it all again tomorrow at home. That'll be nice to be home after a long road trip to Kansas City and here. Torrey Hunter, how about his return trip to the Minnesota Twins? He leads them with 36 runs batted in. Wandy Rodriguez will try to pick up where he left off last time. Look at his numbers in his last 4 starts. AT&T Uverse reminds you that we are home tomorrow. Rangers live at 6:30. The game against the Twins at 7, guys.
All right, John, thank you. And we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and the 27-year-old North Texan, Sam Freeman, on now to take over for Chichi Gonzalez. Freeman, appearing in last night's ball game, worked the 3rd of an inning. This is his 14th game overall. Opponents hitting at .281 against him. And Freeman dealing to Stephen Vogt to start things off. Falls behind 2 balls and no strikes. Vogt today 0 for 2 with a walk. His walk came in that first inning. That was one of 3 free passes issued by Chichi Gonzalez. Another stellar effort by the young right-hander. Vogt ahead of the count now, 3 balls and no strikes. Gonzalez, 7 innings of work today, 8 hits, 1 run. It was earned. That came back in the first inning. 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Ball 4, and Vogt gets a 4-pitch walk. Now the leadoff man aboard to start the 8th inning, and that might be the only hitter that Sam Freeman's going to be allowed to face. Jeff Bannister, a slow walk out to the mound, just checking the bullpen as he makes his way out there. And he's going to go that way. He's going to make a pitching change here. Looks like it'll be John Edwards, right-hander, coming on in. So Sam Freeman walks the only hitter he faces. He will depart, and we will take a timeout. We're back to the O.Co Coliseum in Oakland right after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Thursday, June 18th, that's a week from today, an American tradition comes to Fox and Fox Sports 1 for the first time. Greatest golfers in the world converge in the Pacific Northwest for a chance to stamp their names into the history books. Our exclusive coverage of the 115th U.S. Open Championship, live from Chambers Bay Golf Course, begins June 18th on Fox Sports 1, Fox, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. John Edwards with one pitch gets a pop-up from Brett Lowry. Andrew Alberto able to fight the sun and make the catch for out number one. Lowry not wasting any time, facing John Edwards. John making his 8th appearance of the year. The big right-hander from Keller, Texas. Saw him here on Tuesday night. Got his second hold of the season in the third of an inning of work. Leake just hitting .235 against the big right-hander. One out with Vogt, still at first base. Mark Canha, who is 1 for 3, will step to the plate. Ball one. Edwards on Tuesday night struck Canha out as he entered the ball game in the 7th inning with relief of Nick Martinez. Gets a strike here to even things up at 1-1. Rangers looking for that double play ground ball somewhere. Yeah, 1 on, 1 out, bottom of the 8th inning. 2-1. Edwards, his 8th overall appearance. This is his 7th since being recalled the last time. That was on the 22nd of May. He's only given up 4 total hits in his outing since then. Canha deals it deep to left. If it's fair, it's gone. It is gone. Mark Canha with his 8th home run of the year, a 2-run blast, and the A's lead it 3-0.
We were talking about Canha earlier in the series, how he's hammered right-handed pitching and struggled against left-handed pitching. He really turned on that 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Looked like it was up and in, and that ball didn't have a chance. That was 15 rows back before you knew it. Didn't get it in too much. Actually, right on the top of the strike zone, inside part of the plate, but he was all over it.
Sure was. Now Josh Phegley, the catcher, takes outside for ball 1. That's that sound I don't like.
Yeah, you can hear that in neighboring cities.
Yeah. Phegley 0 for 3. Ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Well, for John Edwards, that is the first run that he has given up this year. 3 balls, no strikes.
First extra base hit of the ball game.
Edwards back to the plate, and he loses Phegley, a 4-pitch walk. Sam Fuld will be next. And Mike Maddox going to trudge out to the mound and see if he can't help John Edwards refocus on that strike zone. Well, it was a 1-0 game starting in this 8th inning. Sam Fuld came on and walked the leadoff man. That was the only hitter he faced. 1 out later, Mark Canha unloaded on John Edwards, and all of a sudden it's a 3-0 game. Hey, North Texas fans, Fox Sports Southwest wants you to show your mean green pride at a Texas Ranger game. Get discounted tickets for the July 11th game against the Padres, and the first 2,000 fans who purchase a UNT Day ticket receive a special Rangers cap in mean green colors. Go to TexasRangers.com/UDays for details. A couple in, 1 on and 1 out. Sam Fuld, a 2-hit day. He is 2 for 3. Takes a strike from Edwards. Fuld came into the game hitting 187. He's raised that by 10 points. And Fuld drives one into the right field corner and deep. Jew over there, he can't get it. 1 hop and off the wall. Stopping at third is Phegley on a double by Sam Fuld, his 3rd hit of the afternoon.
Whatever kind of a slump Fuld was in when we got here, he's not in it anymore. 3 straight well-hit balls for him. Fastball inside, lower inside part of the plate. He smoked it. Some hard hit balls this inning.
Well, it's kind of become unraveled for John Edwards here in this inning. Got Brett Lowry on 1 pitch to pop out. But then the 2-run Canha home run, Phegley's walk, and now Fuld's double. 2nd and 3rd, still just 1 out. Rangers pull the infield all the way in for Billy Burns. One ball and no strikes. Burns a couple of hits today. 2 for 3 with a walk. Season average at .313. Edwards peering in for the sign. The big right-hander's ready to go. Left center field. This ought to be interesting. Leonis makes the catch. Phegley tagging at third. Here comes the throw. It is not in time. Just a little bit too deep in left center field, but Leonis put it right on the money. Phegley able to score, and it's a 4-0 Oakland lead.
Phegley's looking back at the on-deck hitter, Andy Perino, who told him to stand up. Looked like he was a little bit exasperated. Thought maybe should have gotten the sign to slide. Strong throw home, but he's just a little bit too deep to have a chance. Watch him look back. Yeah, that's when in doubt, you got to tell the guy to slide. Yeah, he barely got in there. Stand up. What are you talking about, man?
So a 3-run inning. A's now with a 4-0 lead. And Andy Perino with his first at bat of the afternoon. Switch hitting shortstop. Perino 0 for 5. 12th game of the year for Oakland, at the place of Marcus Semien, who went 1 for 4 in his afternoon. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Rangers are going to have some work to do. We've got it cut out for them now in the top of the 9th inning. Hanser Alberto, and then the top of the order to face either Tyler Clippard or Evan Scribner. Going to third. There's Sam Fuld. He steals it without a throw. Judd Edwards is not paying any attention to him at all, and Fuld took the extra 90 feet. 2 balls and a strike, the count to Perino. Now 3-1. Ross Detweiler should be just about loose in the Ranger bullpen if John Edwards can't get Perino. Josh Reddick waiting in the on-deck circle, and I don't think that Edwards is going to face him. We're going to find out right now as he loses Perino on the walk.
Andy Perino was 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts and a walk before that at bat.
Well, that puts runners at the corners, and that's going to do it as Jeff Bannister makes his way up out of the Ranger dugout. He is on his way to the mound, and we're going to have the second pitching change of the inning. So Edwards not able to escape any further damage. He will leave with runners at first and third, his responsibility, and 3 runs across in the inning. Ross Detweiler coming on while he makes his way in for the bullpen. We'll take a timeout. We're back after this on Fox Sports Southwest. John Edwards with 2/3 an inning, a couple of hits, a couple of walks, one of those hits a home run, and he has departed. Now Ross Detweiler, 29-year-old left-hander, on to see if he can get the final out of this 8th inning. Detweiler, his 9th appearance overall. This is his 2nd consecutive relief appearance. We saw him here on Tuesday night, worked 2/3 of an inning, coming back off the disabled list. Another bloated 7.08 ERA for Ross. Has to come on, and it's a tough assignment to get Josh Reddick. Reddick 1 for 3 today. And he wraps that first pitch foul outside first. Ty Waller, the first base coach, and he got full bridged on that line drive. in one. Season average at 308 for Reddick. Chronicled the difficulties he's had against left-handed pitching. Last night, he kind of turned that around a bit. Late in the ball game, the 8th inning. Base hit against Sam Freeman. Hits this one high in the air to right field. Chu is going back. He's at the wall. That ball's gone.
I don't think Reddick's going to be pinch hit for against left-handed pitching anymore after his last 2 at-bats.
Not for a while.
He had that line shot last night and then hit that curveball out of the ballpark.
Reddick with his 9th home run of the year, 36 RBI, and the A's have opened up a 6-0 lead.
Curveball stayed on the inside, toward the inside part of the plate. It was down okay, but right in his wheelhouse. Keep that ball down and away, you have a much better chance. Down and in, not quite the same chance.
All Shin-Soo Choo could do is watch that sail into the first row of the bleachers out there. So a 5-run inning. 6-0 Oakland. And Ben Zobrist taking outside, 2 balls and no strikes. 4 of those runs on the ledger of John Edwards in this inning. Here's a strike.
First home run that Reddick has hit against a lefty this year. Mentioned coming into the series, he was 6 for 50, a 120 average. He's had 2 hard hit balls in this series.
Zobrist skies to right field. Chu battling the sun, puts it away, and that'll do it. But the A's send 9 men to the plate. 6 of them, score. And we'll go to the 9th. It's now 7-0 Oakland. The 29-year-old right-hander Evan Scribner on now to take over for Scott Kazmir. Kazmir, again, 1 hit in shutting out the Rangers. Last time in this ballpark it was 7 innings. Today it was 8 innings. And he gives way to Evan Scribner with the A's leading 7-0 going to the top of the 9th inning.
Yeah, that was an exceptional game for Kazmir. A guy that hadn't gone 6 innings in his last 4 starts. 4 2/3 and 3 innings in his last 2 starts. A little bit of a shoulder issue. But boy, he was showing no ill effects today. He was outstanding. Throwing better in the last inning, just like Chichi than he was at the beginning.
Good swing and a miss by Hanser Alberto, and it's no balls and 2 strikes.
You have to love the way Chichi fought back after a tough first inning.
Yep.
Minimized the damage and then came back and popped 6 shutout innings there with excellent pitches.
Alberto lost a fly ball to center. And Billy Burns handles that for out number 1. And now back to the top of the Ranger order for Delino DeShields. Gribner out of Central Connecticut State University. Round opponent today, Chichi Gonzalez. 7 solid innings of work, 8 hits and a run. And he is right now on the hook for his first big league loss. Delino takes a strike, and the Rangers might be on the hook for their first shutout in 56 ball games. Out of play, 0-2. Last time the Rangers were shut out were at the hands of these Oakland A's and Scott Kazmir back on the 8th of April. 3rd game of the season. Slow chopper foul. That's Fagley bouncing out from behind home plate quickly. And we'll come back and try it in an 0-2 pitch again. Delino is lined to short. Had extra bases, probably a triple taken away by a diving Billy Burns in left center field. And then a routine fly to left field. Then he lines one to center. That sends Burns back, but with room. Out number 2.
Well, Delino's 0 for 4, but he's hit 3 balls pretty well. He had a line drive to shortstop. He hit that ball in the gap in left center field that Burns made one of the nicest plays of the year to rob him of a triple. And that ball was hit very well to right center field. So he's 0 for 4, but the at-bats were pretty solid today.
Yeah, that's where the box score doesn't tell you nearly enough about that day.
Right.
No, 2 outs. Shin-Soo Choo trying to keep things alive for the Rangers. Takes a strike. 0-1. Choo has flied out twice, once to center, once to left. He's also struck out. Only hit of the game this afternoon for the Rangers, Elvis Andrus, a 1-out single in the 5th inning. And a line drive into the glove of Mark Cannon. And that will do it. Rangers shut out for the first time since April the 8th. And the duo of the Oakland A's and Scott Kazmir getting it done on bookend shutouts of the Rangers.